Hello, and now joining us from Canberra is Martyn Iles. Welcome to InFocus for your debut appearance, Martyn.
Thanks so much, Kent. Yeah, our usual front man's away taking care of some business today, but happy to fill in for him.
Okay. Now, Martyn, it seems freedom of expression issues are on the agenda again in the Australian political landscape. We heard in the news earlier that some religious leaders are concerned about the impact of the federal government's anti-terror legislation. There's talk of banning the burqa, but at the same time, Senator Bob Day is trying to expand free speech by reforming the Racial Discrimination Act so that it's no longer illegal to cause offence. Is there a clear pattern to what's going on here?
Well, I think, Kent, the short answer is that there's attention to what's going on here. It's long been a fundamental principle of Western countries and democracies like Australia, and one that's made us very successful, that we don't make it illegal to speak. And that's been foundational, and Bob Day is trying to draw attention to that, and he's especially saying that if people can respond to the things you say that they don't like by suing you and all the nasties that go with that, then we're just not going to debate certain issues. And if there's one thing that's essential to a functioning democracy, it is a red-hot, healthy debate. So we need to be able to talk about stuff. And so when it comes to these issues of banning things and banning the way people express themselves and banning speech, it's very serious, and we do need to stop and take a look and be very careful. It's a matter of buyer beware.
Do you think, Martyn, that the freedom of speech issues are connected with freedom of religion? Is there a clear connection there?
Oh yes, absolutely, Kent. I mean, underneath both of the values of freedom of religion and freedom of speech are actually the value of freedom of conscience. And a free conscience is the very definition of a free society. And so your faith is part of your conscience, the way you're compelled to speak is part of your conscience, so they're vitally important.
Okay. Now, on to another topic, Martyn. The Australian Education Curriculum Review was released just recently, and one of the key recommendations there was to teach Australia's Judeo-Christian heritage more thoroughly. I understand you and your organisation campaigned on this. Are you happy with the result?
Well, yes, I think, Ken, we can say so far so good. We're very happy because we did put in a submission to the effect that Australia's Judeo-Christian heritage and history could be more effectively and honestly taught, and it seems that the review panel agree with us, and they've recommended that change. Okay.
Some people, of course, Martyn, have made fairly strong statements that a government school is not the place for religion, not the place for Christian indoctrination in particular. Do they have a point?
Well, no, I don't think they do, Kent, to be honest, because that's not what's going on here. What the government has said they're doing is paring back some of the more peripheral and extraneous subject areas that perhaps parents are better placed to teach, and going back to the basics and the foundational areas of knowledge of education, and they are maths, science, English and history. And you know, it's very hard to teach our history without teaching it as it was and as it happened. Bill Shorten recently said that we should teach our history as it was, and that in large part is our Judeo-Christian history. So this has recognition in political circles and right across the spectrum, and so that is why it has a legitimate place in education, and it's difficult to say that this is indoctrination when you're just presenting the facts as they were.
Food for thought. Okay, thanks for your time today, Martyn.
Thank you, Kent.